Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates, and I have a video that I've been trying to figure out how to share, but I just think many of you will be able to relate. So do you ever have this? Just mounds of what I'm going to call mayhem. And the reason is I've been crafting a lot. And then I end up with all these scraps and all these little pieces that I'm not quite sure what to do with, but while I'm crafting, I'm just in the mode of crafting and not in the mood of putting everything away. So then I end up with all of this. And so what I decided, what ends up happening is I take a bag. I'll just use this one for instance, and I toss everything into the bag. And so like envelopes and tea-dyed paper and book pages and whatever I was crafting with goes in the bag, because I will at some point sort it all out. So you guys like me, you can't really craft if there's a mess everywhere. So that's what's been happening to me. This is a beautiful piece that was gifted to me in a file folder from Mary Barrett. And all of these will go back in their respective places. But like I said, what I have to do first is I have to get it all consolidated. There's a little piece of ephemera. Tim holds ephemera. I have to get it consolidated all into one place. And so I'm calling this video Mayhem to Project Share. So all of that was what I sifted through to come up with a junk journal. I mean, clearly there's all kinds of stuff in here. Tea-dyed paper and tags and fabric and tuck spots, even corrugated cardboard and lace. And so when I was sorting through, I thought, I'm going to challenge myself and see if I can make a junk journal just with all of the leftover scraps and bits that I really need to put away. So I pulled out, these linen resume envelopes, and I decided to make a journal cover. And I want to show you how I did it, because except for the journal cover, all of the insides were pretty much made with all of my scraps. And I have a little tip. Some of you might already be aware of it, but when you use an oversized book, let me see if I can get this better framed for you. When you use an oversized book, the pages fit better. And this is a fairy tale book, and when I folded it in half, it fit my envelope really well, and as a result, I just took, let me get one out. I took one of the file folders. I'm going to show you what I did. I folded it in half. I don't have my glasses on, so some of this might end up crooked. I'll do the best I can. And then I cut it in half. And I have one of those fancy cutting boards, but I didn't pull it out for this video because I don't quite have enough space for that tool. So if you can see, I cut it in half. Then I took my oversized piece of book paper. Let me pull one out here. This is from the story, oh wait, yeah, Little Red Hen. It's probably best to slice the page with a mat knife, because the edge is going to get really raggedy on this one, but that's okay. So what I like about using the file folder is, one, the inside cover can be a pocket, and all you have to do, I use tacky glue. I try to use tacky glue when I'm using making something with paper, because it works really well. And since Fabri-Tac is so expensive, tacky glue is a great option when I'm doing paper craft. But when I'm sticking fabric onto paper, I tend to go back to my Fabri-Tac. So there is that. And then I fold my book page in half. And if some of it gets covered with another paper, then it's okay. But I'm using scrap paper basically to put the cover of my book together. I'm going to turn it over this way. And I don't really measure, I just put a little bit of glue. I guess I have been crafting a lot. I think I'm running out of this bottle of glue. But if you know me, I have a glue thing, so there's more where this came from. Okay, so then I just tried to line it up about 1/4 of an inch on the side of the middle line, and I'm keeping the flap up because I want to be able to use it as a pocket. So I'm not going to show you the whole process because it's pretty self-explanatory, and many of you are already excellent journal makers. I'm still finding my way and finding what techniques I like best. Oops, it's not straight enough. There we go. Oh, it's slipping a little bit. Okay, there we go. Oh. So much for showing you what I do. Well, this is what I do, so mess ups and all. Alright. Give it a minute to settle, stick down. It's not perfectly straight, but perfect is boring. Okay, so there is the inside, and then when you fold it over, you have your journal cover, and you can put whatever else you want to cover it up. And I have a couple of these already started, but I'm gonna do a little project share and show you one that I completed. This one I kind of made the spine a little too wide, but it could be the cover for like a folio or ephemera, so you would want a thicker spine so it could hold more. But anyway, that's the wonderful use I found for these linen envelopes. And the project I'm going to show will show that a little better. But quickly, I had 3 already made. And the most beautiful thing I used besides my scraps was this gorgeous Gypsy Paper from craft consortium that was gifted to me from the lovely Ruby. I still can't believe I get to own this beautiful paper. And thank you so much, Ruby. Every page is just jaw-dropping. It's so, so pretty. But the one that I've been taken with the most is, let me find it, is this one. Is that not gorgeous? Can you see that? There's a little bit of like a salmon pink color, and it's got a little bit of shimmer. And then the opposite side is a green, which probably because these are two of my absolute favorite colors. But these are just so, I don't know, whimsical and fairy-like to me. So I did use this paper for the cover of my journal, but everything on the inside was made with my mayhem of scraps. So I want to share my journal with you. And this is the journal. Let me move this now because it's competing. But if you can see, this is the journal. And this is the back with that gorgeous paper. And this is just a paper junk journal with some fabric and, oh, I don't know where that came from, lace embellishments. And I'll show it to you. So I used the beautiful Gypsy paper and some really shimmery net-like ribbon or trim. And then these parchment roses are just for a little embellishment on the edge. And then I love this eyelash trim I recently got in a haul. And then I have this variegated silk ribbon that I tied it with. And it just opens on the side. Now this little piece of ruffle, oops, I'm getting this a little tangled, one second. Okay, this, oh no, I think it's really tangled. Oh no, I got it. Is from a dress, and I just wove some of the lace or the silk trim through it. And everything else, well, the inside cover is also the Gypsy paper. This was a beautiful postcard that was gifted to me in my challenge, and I regret I cannot remember whose it was in, but I used it as a tuck spot. Let me use this to show you. So there's a little corner tuck spot there, and then this is the flap, and this is a very nice pocket on the inside, thanks to the envelope that I made the cover out of. So a lot of the paper, I will admit, is wrinkled because, again, this was just leftover scrap paper and trims that I didn't want to throw away, but I really was feeling lazy and didn't want to put it away either. So it was either use it or throw it in the trash, and so I tend to try and use things up. So this is still really pretty tea-dyed paper. This was a scrap after I made all of the cover. I still had these little strips of the Gypsy paper, which I could not bear to throw away. So I made a little tuck there. And then, of course, there's a good amount of journaling space. I had some Prima decoupage paper that I used there. Some little name stickers. And again, all of this was just laying on that tray of scraps. I actually did pull out some washi tape to embellish a little bit. So that is some washi tape. And then a brown envelope that serves as a pocket. Oops. I wonder if it got a little glued. Yeah, it did a little bit, but you can see it's a very nice place to tuck journaling cards or note paper. And then I have another pocket here. I really like tearing paper. I like the torn edge look. So I did that and put this embellishment. Some more scrapbook paper that I had laying around. I made pages, and then I just laid some plain tea-dyed paper on top to make it a good space for journaling. Some more of the decoupage On the back of that scrapbook paper, it's two-sided. Some dictionary paper and space for journaling. This is a little parchment paper bag that you get at the bakery, and I accidentally pulled out, you know, you gotta pull those sheets out. I grabbed 3 and I thought, oh, I can make something with these. So I sewed around the edges and made a little angled pocket there. And this is some green parchment paper, copy paper basically, and a paper doily mounted on it. This is some scrap paper that I had, I don't remember, but it was in another journal, and it's got the little grid lines from the oven rack. Some small print the scrapbook paper. You can journal. I had scraps of note paper, so I glued that down. And then this is the center. It's just one signature, but I put some twine, and then I wanted the dangles, so I sewed those through as well. And then this is some ribbon that I just created. I was creating woven looking ephemera. I had a little piece of that, so I stuck it in. And this is a fun little page with some hymnal sheet, and this is actually 2 pockets. You can slide something there and there. And these little random Tim Holtz cutouts were laying around, so I made that work with a vintage paper doily. And then there's the other side of that scrapbook paper. I have a fabric, I think they call them a tip-in, and another piece of the tea-dyed paper with the oven rack lines. And there's some vintage trim on there, and then the other side of the doily, paper doily on the green, and some vintage seam binding lace there. This is a belly band of just scrap paper that I've had. This photocopied paper I created a while ago. I copied a gift bag onto tea-dyed paper, and that's what it came out with. And then some more of the dictionary paper with tea-dyed paper. For journaling, some washi tape. Believe it or not, this is Scratch and Sniff. I can't remember the scent. Ugh, actually, I don't think it smells very good. Oh well. I mean, it probably smells good to somebody, but it's a little too powdery smelling for me. And then this is that beautiful scrapbook paper again, where I just distress the edges. A little flip here, and you can journal. Some more tea-dyed paper, and these were some smaller sheets that I wanted to use up, so that's why they're shorter. And there's an envelope here. I might put some embellishment on this one, but it is a pocket as well, so you can put something in there. And then this is some decoupage paper with sort of a little vintage wallpaper print, and the back of that. And then this is the back of the journal with another little corner pocket. It's just the other angle of the postcard. And then the back pocket is the envelope of the back that I created. So this journal ended up being created from lots of scraps, except for this luxurious paper that I made the front and back with. And now I have a little surprise, because I just have the best subscribers. I call you my crafting friends, and I'd like to make this journal a giveaway. If it's something you think you'd like to own, all you have to do is comment in the comment section. I don't know, tell me your favorite style of crafting, paper or fabric. And maybe if you don't want to write a lot, you can just comment by saying paper or fabric, and just by that comment it'll enter you for a drawing to win this junk journal. And I will mail it US or international. I won't be able to tuck in a lot of goodies because of the weight. I think this is going to be just the right weight for the first amount of postage international. So, but you will get a lovely journal, I must say. I was really happy with how it turned out. So I'm not sure if you're interested, but if you are, I'd like to use it as a way to say thank you for visiting my channel and commenting. So just click like, comment, and your name will be entered for the drawing. Now you do have to be a subscriber to my channel, but other than that, just give me a comment, write paper or fabric for whichever crafting style you love most, and if you're not a crafter, that's okay too. Some of you may not do either, so I'm just happy to have a chance to give something to my subscribers and to say thank you for your kind support and wonderful comments, and I hope you'll stay around. I have more videos to come. Thanks everybody for watching, and good luck.